Welcome back, everybody, to what a week it has been. Since I changed my name from Honest Johnny Reviews, I think I might as well change this to what had happened this week was week number 149 of the Trump impeachment process. And they are still promising to, I don't know, provide stuff that is opposite of exactly what they release in the media. Instead of focusing, they have exactly 1 year until the next election. It is November 9th, 2019. And as you all know, that is exactly 1 day before the United States Marine Corps birthday. November 10, 1775, Semper Fi, happy birthday to all my Marine brothers and sisters. Thank you so much for your service. November 11th is Veterans Day. Thank you so much to all my brothers and sisters, especially you, Tulsi Gabbard. Please keep running. Please stay in the fight, and please get that nomination. Thank you all so much for serving a country that has idiots like Joy Behar that will openly disrespect you and act like a complete asshole right to your face. Here is a little clip that started out as Tulsi dismantles Hillary Part 1, then it was Tulsi dismantles Hillary Part 2. I think I'm just gonna rename it to Tulsi dismantles the Libtards. So we're gonna start, that's a new thing too. Tulsi dismantles Libtards Part 1, starting right here with Joy Behar.
Well, look, the facts are important, and we'll get to that. I want to start with something that I think is also important about facts, because recently on your show here...
I was just going to get to that.
Good. Yeah. Helping you out.
You want me to ask you the question?
Yeah. No, look, some of you have accused me of being a traitor to my country, a Russian asset, a Trojan horse, or a useful idiot, I think was the term that you used. Which basically means that I'm naive or lack intelligence to know what's going on.
They use that.
I want to let your viewers know exactly who I am.
All right.
Set the record straight. I am a patriot. I love our country. I am a strong and intelligent woman of color, and I have dedicated almost my entire adult life to protecting the safety, security, and the freedom of all Americans in this country. It was the attacks on 9/11.
We're getting a little bit far ahead of ourselves, but Franklin Graham finds you refreshing. He doesn't find me refreshing. Richard Spencer, the white nationalist leader, says he could vote for you.
Joy, this is why
you're on Tucker Carlson at least 10 times. Why don't you go on Chris Wallace's show?
This is why I'm here, because you and other people continue to spread these innuendos that have nothing to do with who I am.
Well, Hillary Clinton started it, and then you shot back at her, boy. You called her the queen of warmongers.
You doubled down, unfortunately, you doubled down on the baseless accusations that she made that strikes at the core of who I am.
I'm not making any predictions, but I think they've got their eye on somebody who's currently in the Democratic primary and are grooming her to be the third-party candidate. She's the favorite of the Russians. They have a bunch of, sites and bots and other ways of supporting her so far. And that's assuming Jill Stein will give it up, which she might not, because she's also a Russian asset.
So really? I mean, this is outrageous. This is outrageous and offensive on so many levels. I've served as a member of Congress now for almost 7 years, receiving high-level national security and intelligence briefings, serving on the Foreign Affairs Committee, the Armed Services Committee, the Homeland Security Committee, working to ensure the safety and security of the people of this country. This is why I'm running for president, to continue that commitment of service.
So are you surprised what she's saying is she feels they are grooming you. You're saying nobody's grooming me. I'm doing what I'm doing because I'm a soldier and a patriot.
It's offensive to me as a soldier, as an American, as a member of Congress, as a veteran, and frankly, as a woman, to be so demeaned in such a way.
But you called her the personification of rock.
So demeaned
She's a woman
in such
too.
a way. Well, I'm pointing to the fact that she has continued this legacy of being the world's police around the world, that has waged wars costing the lives of thousands of my brothers and sisters in uniform. I'm speaking out against that and
What's
to
your evidence
change
to that?
to change.
Well, can I?
Are you serious?
Let's hear it.
Are you serious?
Let's hear it.
I served in the war
Not
in
you,
Iraq.
her. You're saying that she's
exactly.
she's a
I
warmonger.
served
How do
in
you
the
come
war
up with
in
that?
Iraq
Yeah.
that she championed. She championed a regime change war
Did you not
in
believe
Libya.
in that war?
I believe the lies that were told to us.
Well, so did she.
So it is indisputable. It is indisputable to say anything other than the fact that Hillary. Let me just close this out. That Hillary Clinton, throughout her career, has led with a foreign policy of interventionism and being the world's police, going and toppling dictators in other countries that has caused such destruction and loss of life. I'm against that. I'm running for president to change that. Rather than actually debate me on the issues, she and others are resorting to these smear tactic campaigns, seeking to undermine me, smear my character, and sending a message to anyone who dissents. Toe the line, or you too will be smeared.
I just want to straighten a couple of things out. I've never said, and I don't think Hillary Clinton thinks that you're a witting asset. You might be an unwitting asset. Not that that means you're stupid, but people can be used.
Well, that's exactly what it means, though. That's exactly what it means.
The other thing that confuses me, wait, I have one more question. You're on state TV all the time. Why do you go on Fox TV? Fox Channel, which is a propaganda network, 16 times with Tucker Carlson. I never see you with Chris Wallace or that other guy, what's his name, Brett Baer. Well, why aren't you on with them? They're definitely middle of the road. Why do you go on with Tucker, who's a liar and a propagandist?
So let me start with how offensive it is to say that I am a witting or unwitting asset of a foreign country, working against the interests of our people and our country, the country that I am willing to lay my life down for. So if you're saying it's not deliberately, then you are implying
it could be
that I am too stupid and too naive and lack the intelligence to know what I am doing. That is extremely offensive
Can I get you to put the quote up?
Every
Can you
woman
guys
of color.
put the quote back up? Because I think everyone is sort of missed something.
What are we missing?
Well, I think what you're missing is that that asset had nothing to do with Tulsi. She was talking about Jill Stein.
Actually, her spokesperson confirmed it.
I'm not making it.
They called you a Russian doll.
Her spokesperson confirmed it because some of the media followed up and asked for her spokesperson to say what she meant and confirmed that they were talking about me. So there was no mistaking that.
Right. Okay. Well, that's clear.
Well, the quote that we saw, I'm sorry, I just want to point out the quote that we saw wasn't.
Well, they never named her. They never named her.
She's talking, assuming Jill Stein will give it up, but she might not because she's also a Russian asset.
This was after that quote was made. Media across spectrums were reporting about what Hillary Clinton just said about Tulsi Gabbard. You raised a second issue about why I go on Fox News.
Yeah.
I go on Tucker Carlson, go on Brett Baer, go on Sean Hannity, go on MSNBC, go on CNN. I am here to speak to every single American in this country about the unifying leadership that I want to bring as president. Not just speak to those who agree with me.
It's nice to think that could happen.
To speak with those who may disagree with me, recognizing that I'm asking for the opportunity to serve every single person in this country. We have to come together for our country and our country's future.
They become outrageous. They lie all the time.
Well,
they just
lie.
I
think the reason why so many Republicans respond to you is because you don't treat us like we're garbage. You actually care about the audience and care about reaching out, which to a lot of conservatives, which by the way, you're going to have to win them over to get to the White House one way or another, is important. And I think just negating all of Fox's audience, I called Elizabeth Warren to task on it.
Not their audience.
On
We're talking about Tucker Carlson right now.
I'm there to speak to the
Two
audience.
liars.
They both have some of the largest audiences on television today.
So day
putting
one,
people first.
You putting us back.
Day one and every day that follows.
You're also not going to take my guns. Appreciate that too.
All right.
I would. I'll take
Well, maybe not all of them.
And Joy Behar doesn't understand that she's a useful idiot of the right. The Republicans, every time Joy does dumb-ass, stupid shit like this, Trump's numbers go up because they play that footage over and over on, on the state news. And every rational person, all of us in the middle go, is that what lefties do? This is how the libtards act? No wonder we had Trump in the first place, because of idiots like Joy Behar. Then you get the president's son on your show, and this is like your moment to shine. This is your moment to say, we don't have TDS. This is your moment to say, we can be rational. We can have an honest discourse. We can agree to disagree. Let's just, I'll make my point. You make your point. Maybe when you speak, I'll be quiet. And then when I speak, hopefully you'll extend me the same courtesy of paying attention. And maybe we can talk to each other. Nope! Fucking idiot TDS Joy Behar got destroyed twice in 1 week. So here's Donald Trump Jr., who's pushing his book called Triggered on the show and triggers the entire show. And then I think the audience got in on it. And then Whoopi had to ring the bell and be like, okay, everybody shut the fuck up.
You guys are here. We're going to get to Triggered, the book, in a moment, and your relationship. But you did something that triggered a lot of people yesterday, including myself, by releasing the name of the whistleblower. The whistleblower whose complaint has now led to impeachment hearings. The whole point of releasing a name is to intimidate someone, to threaten someone, and to scare other people from coming out. That's something that dictators do. I've lived in China. I've seen that firsthand. That's not what America does. That's not who we do. We stand by our people. Why did you want to release the name?
Abby, I think it's a fair question. I think the reality of the answer is the whistleblower's name was on a little website called The Drudge Report a couple of days ago. It was in Real Clear Politics. I literally quote tweeted an article that had the guy's name in the title of the article. So that whole thing is nonsense. But I wish the outrage would be equal. I mean, there was no outrage when, my family got an exploding letter of, with white powder substance in it. They're protecting a guy, in the CIA, and there's great outrage. But when your family gets something, it's there. And that's a big part of the book, which is, it's not a level playing field in terms of outrage. We do live in an outrage culture.
He asked to be anonymous. Your family did not. There's a difference.
But it was literally millions of people, and for days he's been out there in the media.
But does that make it right?
So what's the difference between me tweeting about it?
It's different when the president's son does it, though, isn't it?
Why? I mean, I'm a private citizen putting this out there. If everyone in this room could have read this, I don't see any difference whatsoever. The reality is, it seems to me, and again, my point of view on this, it seems to me that everyone is outraged that his name is out there because now people are saying, okay, he's tied to Joe Biden while Joe Biden was working in the White House. He has ties to Brennan, who's been leading the cabal on Trump. It's not, let's be honest about what it is.
But just to be clear, that's not why I'm outraged. I'm outraged because I care about diplomacy in this country. I care about how we protect the people when they see a wrongdoing, that they go through the proper political channels and they are protected for doing that. So you can say that whatever outlet released it.
Let's not kid ourselves.
But the name has been out there for 5 days.
But that doesn't make it right.
But nevertheless,
But Abby, you guys, ABC is right now chasing down a whistleblower about all of the Epstein stuff because those stories were killed. So if we're going to have the conversation about the outrage about whistleblowers, you work with CBS. No, you work with CBS to out a whistleblower who came up with a story that's kind of shady.
Can we stick to?
No, but you work with them. That broke this morning.
Can we stick to what we are? An opinion show.
Correct.
That's what we do.
Correct. Okay, it wasn't the most prudent decision to retweet an article, but I'm going to tell you something. We talk about transparency. The President of the United States released the transcript of exactly what happened in that phone call.
Yeah.
The whistleblower is giving his opinion or her opinion of what transpired.
I'd like to talk about.
Nothing was withheld. The other guy on the other side actually said, I have no idea what you're talking about. No one knew any aid was even being withheld. The other guy in the Ukraine, in terms of aid being withheld. So no one knew about these things.
But that's not true. That's a lie. Military aid was withheld.
Yeah.
Yes.
No one knew
Not
about
as-
it in
no,
the Ukraine.
not
So
as a quid pro
and there
quo.
was no quid pro quo. You see all the other
wasn't.
aspects of
That's
this
a
coming
lie.
out.
It was withheld.
There's been no prima facie case made whatsoever for impeachment. The transcript is there. The witnesses are coming forward. And there was no
So you have a
bipartisan
lot of
support
opinion
for
going
that
on.
hearing
But Kimberly, the
going forward.
military aid was
One at a
withheld.
time.
But not because of that reason.
And again, the other
nexus
side
and
didn't
the
even
time
know that it
frame,
was
the
withheld at
timeline
the time.
has been
Can I
clearly
ask you this?
demonstrated.
But that's a
not the
lie.
case.
There have been
Can I
several
ask you this then?
ambassadors that have testified
Oh, boy.
that have
And there's others that have testified
that the
they had no
military
idea
aid
that
was
there was any
withheld.
quid pro
Let me
quo
ask you this
whatsoever.
We have to go to a
Did
break.
Gordon Sondland lie then when he changed his
Wait.
testimony yesterday?
Well, I don't know why he changed his testimony. It's sort of interesting. It almost, he says something.
He's afraid of
on the
perjury.
record.
He's afraid of going to jail.
Or he's afraid of being attacked, like so many of us have for so long, by a vicious left that's running a
Oh,
one-sided
please.
sham thing.
Let's go to a
By
break.
Adam Schiff, who's doing a one-sided thing. Republicans
Children!
can't question.
Children! Stop yourself.
You and your family have hurt a lot of people and put a lot of people through a lot of pain, including the Khan family, who is a Gold Star family that I think should be respected for the loss of their son. Does all of this make you feel good?
I don't think any of that makes me feel good, but I do think that we got into this because we wanted to do what's right for America. My father has been working tirelessly to bring back the American dream, who've watched politicians with no business experience send that American dream abroad to countries that hate our guts. He's brought jobs back. He's created unprecedented levels of unemployment numbers for African Americans, for Hispanic Americans. This is fact. Look, you can argue it, but this is fact.
No, it's not fact.
For women, if you ask the question, let me finish it.
Yep.
For women, all-time high startup businesses. So I understand that he's controversial. I understand that he's offended a lot of people, but I also understand he took on the establishment, and that's the premier sin in American politics these days, to do that.
I do want to note, it's just, for me, it would not have been worth it. This would not have been worth it. And I think people can go to the moment when my dad had stopped someone from saying Obama was a Muslim, and the pain, inflicting pain on so many people wouldn't have been worth it to me or my family to the White House. So I just want to know, is it worth it?
Well, listen, I think it depends on the hat that I'm wearing. For me as a citizen, as a father of kids in New York City, it hasn't exactly been, peaches and cream for us either. But what, it is worth it when I do go around the country and I see people who are affected by these policies, who are getting to live their American dream again, who are seeing wage growth for the lowest levels go up. When I see it happening with those people, and they tell me their stories, how they're so happy that they voted for my father, that they're so happy that he actually had the guts to take on those people, to not just accept the status quo, to not just accept
Only an
that.
hour show.
Yeah.
Try and bring civility back then. You can do it. You have this, you're in the White House.
And you're right. And you know what, guys? It goes both ways. And can you imagine, honestly, and you guys, you ran for president. It was absolutely brutal. They're up for re-election again. 93% negative coverage in the mainstream media about President Trump. They don't want to talk about the successes. I know the president, I
You're
know
in the
their
White
family
House.
for
You guys are at the
14
top.
years.
You guys
I stand
up.
for them like I
Suck it
stand for
up.
you and your family.
right,
I
suck
get
it
what
up.
you're saying.
In all fairness, for
But we're
8 years
talking
of
about
Obama, there was
reciprocal
zero criticism
civility.
for anything.
I'm sorry. Now, what you can't do is you can't change the past. Obama became president, and the first thing that was said to him from the other side is, we're going to make sure you're a one-term president. We're not going to do anything to help. Well, I'm sorry, wait. I just want to say, who said it? I believe Mitch McConnell
Mitch
said
McConnell said it.
Guys,
and that you can look up.
but guys, look at what's going on right now.
But I'm
When the
just saying
Washington
to you that
Post
this is
runs
part of
the case
being
for
president.
impeachment
I'm sorry.
19
this is
minutes after inauguration.
Listen,
Come on, guys.
Part of being president is having a pair that can take whatever heat comes towards you.
I promise you, my father's got a pair, and no sitting president has taken the heat that Donald Trump has taken.
Bulldog.
Please,
That is bulldog. Yes. Stop. Go, Joy.
Okay, just to her point, he also called Mexicans rapists. He made.
He
Wait a
said
second.
that some coming across the border are, and that's a fact. Look at what's going on at the
can tell you
border.
that.
Let her finish. Let her finish.
Called some Mexicans rapists. He attacked the handicapped. He bragged
That's
about
also
it.
not true.
Listen, we heard the
But after
access.
we saw
Hold
that-
on. We heard the access tape where he bragged about grabbing women by their genitalia. She's talking about, that's what Megan is talking about. She's talking about lowering the discourse to his level, which is horrible for this country. Even if people are working, we don't want to have a country like that. Do you understand that?
We've all
They don't
done
like
things.
the vessel or the semantics
Wait.
of the tweets, but nevertheless, look at the results.
We've all done things that we regret. I mean, if we're talking about bringing a discourse down, Joy, you've worn blackface. Whoopi,
No,
you
I
said
haven't.
that Roman Polanski.
I'm sorry, and don't. If
you
you
said
do
that
it,
Roman Polanski, it wasn't rape when he raped a child. So let's
okay.
talk about
So yeah, no,
serious
let's
things.
talk
Come on,
about
that's
this. So
not
you
fair.
want to bring this up? The question came up.
I did not go in blackface, please.
No, she was not in blackface.
Thank you.
Sorry. Listen, being black, I recognize blackface. This I can say. Okay? I know it when I see it.
Back me up on that. That's
So
a
now that you've broken this piece of ice, because I guess this is the fight you wanted.
It's not the fight I
Yeah,
want.
it is.
But if we're
Because
talking
when
about character, if we're
because
talking
when-
about these
Are you
things-
questioning my character?
I'm not
No,
questioning your
talking about
character. I'm
father's
talking about
character.
you're questioning my father's character.
I'm
and
not,
I say
I'm
we
sorry,
all have done
I didn't
and said
question
things.
anybody. I simply said that when you're talking about that your father's taken more heat than anybody else, that it's not so. Instead,
As a president?
and when, yes,
Come
as a
on.
president,
It's
yes,
ridiculous.
He's getting pressed every day.
I think,
He's
I
a
think the Central Park
president.
Five took a lot more heat than your father has taken at his hand.
And by the way,
Name a president who's taken more heat than my
everybody
father.
stop.
record
Hold up,
criminal
hold
justice
up,
reform
hold
first
up.
back. President Trump.
We'll be right back.
The idiots on The View don't understand. You guys right there, you are all 100% culpable for Donald Trump being in office. Yes, even you, Meghan McCain, who we always play Name That Weight with Meghan McCain. We're like, if she dropped 150 pounds, I'd bang her. If she dropped 140 pounds, I'd bang her. If she dropped 130 pounds, I'd bang her. And then once we get down to about 100 pounds, everybody's like, you win. You could tell she used to be pretty back in the day. But anyway, she's not even really a Republican. I mean, I love John McCain. Oh, with all my heart, I love John McCain. But he's not a Republican. You know, he's like me. He's in the middle. He's a centrist, libertarian, call it what you want. He's a middle of the road kind of guy. You know, just like me. And I think calling him a Republican is why those of us in the middle have no voice. It's we either get the angry left, libtard, fanatical, hysterical, emotional, irrational Joy Behars of the world, or we get the far right that is just out to grease their pockets and steal all of our money. It's like most of us are in the middle, like Tulsi Gabbard. That's why I keep pushing Tulsi, but they just won't let her be. So anyway, Tulsi, keep fighting the good fight. Oh, and just as a testament of their Trump derangement syndrome gone awry, Trump killed al-Baghdadi, which was the leader of ISIS. And actually, well, Trump didn't do it, but they sent this dog Conan in. And he went and chased this guy into a dead end, and he did the bitch thing and blew himself and his kids up and hurt the dog. I'm like, motherfucker, you know what? Look, I'm fine. You want to kill yourself. I'm marginally okay if you're that bad of a guy that you kill your kids so that you don't pass on the evil gene. But hey, when you hurt a dog, you've gone way too far. So anyway, there was this stupid ass meme going around where it's obviously Photoshop, Trump pinning a medal on the dog, and the left like loses their mind. They're like, see, this is why we need to fact check everything that Trump does. Like, Trump didn't put out the picture, just like he didn't put out that stupid ass video that everybody freaked out about a couple weeks ago about, you know, Trump's face on this little thing like going around and killing everybody, and Kathy Griffin's like, I feel in danger. Like, shut the fuck up, bitch. Nobody's heard from you in 2 years. We don't want to hear from you again for at least another 3, 4, 8 years. They have devolved so much to the fact that they get a decorated war veteran female currently enlisted in the Army National Guard, currently sitting congresswoman on their show, and then they show her that disrespect. That's why Trump won in 2016. That's why Trump will win again in 2020. So everybody on the right, you need to tune into The View and post comments to their YouTube page and their Facebook page. Yes, Joy, we agree with you 100%. Go, girl, go, go, go. Don't take anything from them. Destroy them all. Oh, Kamala Harris, the absolute idiot from hell, has proposed a plan. She says, you know what? I can fix this this inequality because so many single parents, you know, they have to pay daycare. So we're going to extend the school hours for 3 hours so that parents can just drop their kids off before they go to work and then pick them up when they come home. This is why Kamala can't be president, because she lacks the foresight to see, okay, well, if you increase the school day by 33%, then those kids are going to graduate 33% faster. So what do you do when they get out and they need a babysitter for the entire day as opposed to just those 3 hours? What the fuck? How is this dumb idiot the senator? Oh, that's right. That's how she's the senator of California. Because when the other idiot that didn't introduce one bill in her entire tenure as a senator, when she finally resigned, the governor of California, I think it was Gray Davis, idiot who didn't do anything. Or maybe it was, I think it was the idiot who likes trains. I like trains. The idiot who stole $6 billion from the United States government to build a train and then never built it, but spent all the money. And then when Donald Trump said, hey, we want our money back for the train since you never built it. And he was like, no, you can't have that money back because we're going to build it. So anyway, because he appointed her as the senator. So anyway, Kamala's an idiot. It's like what kind of a moron says, hey, you know how you have to pay for those 2 or 3 hours 5 days a week? Yeah, I know that's taxing on you. I know that extra, $40-$60 that you have to spend is kind of taxing. So instead, they're going to wait until the end of the school year and go, oh, school's out 33% earlier. Now you have to pay, $150 every day instead of just paying the $60. Now you have to pay $150. This idiot libtards with their short-term thinking just make me crazy. Especially when they're the ones saying, oh, in 12 years, the whole world's going to a handbasket in a hell cart and blah, 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 blah. They know exactly where the world's going to be in 12 years, and they can't even think to the end of the school year. Pitiful. So, Chicago finally did something right. They forced that idiot superintendent of the police department, Eddie Johnson, they forced his dumbass to retire because in the last 3 years in Chicago, just murder rate's just going through the roof, crime's going through the roof. Eddie Johnson's sitting there the whole time going, well, I don't know what I can do about it. You're the superintendent of the police. That's your job. They hired Charlie Beck, the former police chief of Los Angeles. Hell yeah. Get in there, Charlie Beck. But watch. I guarantee you within 2 years, if they keep Charlie Beck on board, they will see their crime rates drop at least 20%. Instead of rising, 15, 20% every year, which when you think about that, that's exponentially ridiculous. I bet you within 2 years they're going to see a 20% decrease in crime under Charlie Beck. I don't know why he's not the police chief here in LA anymore. He did such a great job. I mean, if you watch like movies like Colors, that was like before Charlie Beck. And then you look at LA now, and other than the homeless, because, well, that's Dems just say, well, you know, they're just pooping and peeing and shooting up on the sidewalks. Just walk around it. You know, other than that, the crime rates in LA are low. Unlike Oxon Hill, Maryland, in Los Angeles, you can actually go into a Popeyes Chicken and get a chicken sandwich without being stabbed to death. What the fuck, Maryland? Why do people have to die in Oxon Hill to get a damn Popeyes chicken sandwich? People in LA, you can go right there, downtown LA, 3 o'clock in the morning. All the homeless people, they're all napping from shooting up all the heroin. You dodge the poop and the pee. Boom, you walk right into Popeyes. You get your chicken. You're out. But anyway, don't get chicken in Oxon Hill, Maryland. You will get stabbed to death. Oh. And then people are like, "Oh, well, we don't need a border wall with Mexico. Mexico is just fine." Right across. Oh, this is irony at its finest. So remember that shooting that we had in El Paso in Texas, where I think like 6 or 7 Mexican nationals were killed, and the president of Mexico said, "No, we're going to do our own investigation of the United States, and we're going to press charges." Well, guess what? Right across the border, 9 Americans were shot dead by the drug cartels. 3 mothers and 6 of their children were killed, and they set their SUVs on fire. 5 children were wounded, and the only one I think was, I want to say like a 12-year-old or 13-year-old, took his brothers and sisters out of the cars as they're on fire and been riddled with bullet holes, and everybody's dying around him. One of the moms ran out there waving her arms frantically saying, "Hey, please don't kill us, please don't kill us." They've shot her point blank in the forehead. So this freaking hero of a kid drags his wounded brothers and sisters into the tree line, covers them with broken branches and stuff to camouflage them, then walks like 13 miles back to their compound, because they're like some Mormon extremist group who still believes in polygamy. They fled the United States like 50, 60 years ago because they didn't want to live under American law. And I hate to be the dick, but come on, you know I'm going to tell you the truth. Look, when you live your life outside of the law, you lose the protection of the law. I didn't invent that quote. I didn't invent that theory. I'm just saying that that's how it is. And, you know, look, if you want to be polygamous, you want to live in cartel country, and this weird Mormon offshoot sect thing, they have a history of murdering each other for power, murdering locals murdering them. So this isn't exactly a new thing. But, yeah. And then Donald Trump says, "Hey, Mexico president, since these were, 9 American citizens murdered, they have joint citizenship, but, whatever. And then 4 kids hurt, 5 injured, whatever. If you need help fighting the cartels, we can wage war, and we'll send our army down there and we'll help you with that problem." And this motherfucking dumbass Mexican president who said he's going to investigate one shooter, crazy motherfucker that went into a Walmart in El Paso and shot like 3 white people and 6 Mexicans. He's like, "Well, I'm going to investigate the United States over this." But when 9 white Americans are murdered in his country. He's like, nope, I'm good. You guys just stay the fuck on your own side. And you think that there's not a reason to have a wall there? There is a very good reason. I work with a guy who's like, oh yeah, I would move to Texas in a heartbeat because my grandma lives in El Paso. And I go, ooh, that's a little sketchy. He goes, yeah, I know. He goes, from her house, you can look over the border. And she's like, they hear gunshots every night, people getting murdered. And I'm like, well, why does she still live there? It's like, well, where's she going to go, dude? You can't sell it. What are you going to sell it for, $8? Then what does that get you? A bus ticket to nowhere. So, yes, that is why we need the wall. Oh, so I hate to give any credit to this Greta Thunberg idiot, but this is how delusional the left is. A heckler at one of her rallies said something like, I don't know, like, you're an idiot, 16-year-old, you know, you don't have your own opinions. You're only reading off of a piece of paper because that's what your parents wrote down for you to read. And then she said something like, if you want to talk to me one-on-one, then you can do that later. And then everybody's like, oh, snap! Oh, no, she didn't! Oh, shut that heckler down! Oh, snap! What? I don't understand. Why is the media blowing up over this? Why is that even a thing? So somebody yelled something at her like, hey, you have no idea. You have no thoughts of your own. You're just reading what your parents say. Or I don't know. I don't even know what the hell he said. All I see is just Greta Thunberg shuts down heckler. Shuts down heckler. Destroys heckler. Silences heckler. And then it's like, all she said was, if you want to talk to me one-on-one, you can do that later. Idiot left. This is why we have Trump. Is because of these people. And Trump tells the media to shut up, shut up. Shut your lying face up and listen.
I just told him I've got to come over and see the fake news. Let's go. We are looking for corruption. We're giving hundreds of millions of dollars and we're looking for corruption. And all you have to do is take a look at Biden and you'll see tremendous corruption because what he did is quid pro quo times 10.
Did you ask
and let me just say, be quiet. Quiet.
Did you ask your DOJ?
Quiet. Quiet.
Did you ask the DOJ?
Are you ready?
Yes,
I never
sir.
spoke to him about anything. It's up to Bill Barr. Bill Barr can do whatever he wants to do. But I saw the same tape on television. And the tape shows that Joe Biden is a crook. He's 100% crooked.
Remember, we're not going to give you the $1 billion. They said, you have no authority. You're not the president. The president said, I said, call him. I said, I'm telling you, you're not getting $1 billion. I said, you're not getting $1 billion. I'm going to be leaving here. And I think it was, 6 hours? I said, I'm leaving in 6 hours. If the prosecutor's not fired, you're not getting the money.
What on earth did Biden just say?
If the prosecutor's not fired, you're not getting the money. Oh, son of a got fired.
And the fake news, which is you don't want to do anything about it. His son walked out with millions of dollars from Ukraine, millions of dollars from China. He doesn't know anything. He walked away with a stash. It's a corrupt deal. It's a corrupt enterprise. And if the press did it right, it's a hell of a story.
Bill Barr and the DOJ are not denying that you asked him to have a press conference.
Well, they're not saying anything. Let me just tell you. I never asked him for a press conference. It's fake news by the Washington Post, which is a fake newspaper. It's fake, it's made up. And if I asked Bill Barr to have a press conference, I think he'd do it. But I never asked him to have a press conference. Why should I? You know why I wouldn't do it? Because the phone call was perfect. Just read the transcript of the phone call. Nobody has to have a press conference. I think if I asked him, and by the way, we confirmed, I never asked him. I think if I did ask him, I haven't said this yet, and I don't think I will. I'm sure I won't. But if I asked him to have a press conference, I think he would. With that being said, it's fake news. They wrote a fake story. We told them that before they wrote the story. But today, when you tell the press something, it's meaningless. because they write whatever. It's all fiction. And I'll tell you, they don't have sources. You know what they do? They make it up. Not everybody, not John, not everybody, but they make it up.
We already have Biden on video committing quid pro quo. Why have the Democrats forgotten that this video exists? Here is the extended remix, wiki that I found.
Remember, or we're not going to give you the $1 billion. They said, you have no authority. You're not the president. The president said. I said, call him. I said, I'm telling you, you're not getting $1 billion. I said, you're not getting $1 billion. I'm going to be leaving here. And I think it was, 6 hours? I looked, I said, I'm leaving in 6 hours. If the prosecutor's not fired, you're not getting the money.
What on earth did Biden just say?
If the prosecutor's not fired, you're not getting the money. Oh, son of a got fired.
Why do you guys ignore that? You're like, oh, well, Joe Biden didn't exactly do a quid pro quo. All right, well, if that's not the definition of a quid pro quo while he was in office, then obviously you have to let Trump go. You idiots. Why don't you just say, yes, Biden committed a quid pro quo? And by using that exact same metric that we judge Biden on, we are going to use that exact same metric to judge the president on. And if the metrics or the matrices balance out correctly, then you impeach him. See, this is why the right and the left will never get along. Because the right thinks logically and the left thinks emotionally. They're just so pissed that Hillary lost, they can't see the forest for the trees. Crazy. Jeez. All right, so it's been a slow news week. That's it. I'm getting out of here. I'm getting out with my horse. As you can see, I'm here in front of my tack room. I haven't even opened it yet because I walked him around and the neighbor turned out their little German Shepherd puppy, and he was running around and Batman was like, I want to play. So I was like, okay, go play. So those two have been running the fence line. I think they're little buddies. So I got this big ass 1,000-pound quarter horse. Imagine a pit bull that's 6 feet tall. You know, like maybe like 5'5", right at the back, and then like 6'5", like at the top of his head. Imagine a pit bull that big. Imagine a pit bull that has to duck to come into your house. That's what Batman looks like. So anyway, thank you all so much for watching. I hope that you had a wonderful week. Once again, happy birthday, Marine Semper Fi, hoorah! And for Monday, thank you to every veteran who's ever served, every veteran who is currently serving, and especially you, Tulsi Gabbard. We're in your corner. Don't let them get you down, sweetheart. Go, go, go. All right, everybody. Bye.